Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today is part 2 of episode 5 of questions and answers. And the thing that I'm going to be talking about today specifically is the Democratic side of politics. So I'm going to start off the bat as harsh as possible. You guys are absolute pathetic weakling failures who only are businessmen who care about themselves, their money, and the money that they get for themselves. You don't care about the people you affect, no matter what the effect is, Biden. And you like to watch people suffer. You most likely do, considering the amount of people that you make suffer day by day in and day out, non-stop, consistently, and the amount of people that have been suffering for over the last 70 years that you have yet to stop their suffering for. Most of the people in the United States of America, 180 million plus, are actually broke as hell and don't have the ability of, paying for really anything. They're living off of mostly food stamps. So the only thing that they can pay for is food because that's all they have money for. Because it's not their money, it's government money. Which then again forces the family that has government assistance to get fucked up even more. Because they have to worry about all the other shit that comes with government assistance. And, from my own personal experience, yeah, it keeps you poor for the rest of your life. As soon as you go for government assistance, you're broke for the rest of your goddamn life. Yay, I know what my life is going to be, despite me literally having an IQ of 147 or 152. I keep bouncing back and forth between the both because I'm not sure which one to believe, my doctor or my thing that I took a test on, but etc. I digress. The point that I want to make is, in the United States of America, intelligence is illegal only because the rich 90% of the Americans, not 90% of Americans, but the very, very, very rich 5%, all of our politicians, literally all of them, from Kirsten Sinema to Biden to Nancy Pelosi to Trump to basically literally all of them almost. Really, again, the only ones that I've found that are not as corrupt, and I say that pretty accurately, as corrupt, is the Buttigieg husbands, Bernie Sanders, Ocasio-Cortez, and that's basically it. And that's kind of sad. 5 out of what? 100 House Democrats, or is it 50? I think it's 100. Yeah, I'll just stick with 100 for now. I might have to go back and do research on that. I think I'm going to do that after I make this video. But out of all those 100 Democrats, only 5 of them are nice. That means 95% are working against you, and you really need to consider the odds of existing in this country when most of the country, or the power of the country, I should say, is working absolutely against you. Do you know why nothing has changed for women specifically? Listen in for a second, okay? Especially if you're a Democratic woman, okay? So you know how Roe v. Wade just got turned, right? Well, do you want to know why it was turned? Because of the Democrats allowing Republicans to turn it. You know what the Democrats are doing? They're playing this game of, oh, I didn't change the rules, so it wasn't my fault. We're going to blame it on the Republicans despite us wanting to be the people causing the problem. So they're playing 5-dimensional chess with the brain of the Republicans because, let's face it, Republicans are kind of stupid in general. And now look, we have an extremely fucked up government that is working actively against the people every minute, every second of every day, using people like nothing but slaves, while just having a government system that tries to treat them like people. But that's the thing, tries to treat them like people. It's like if you made a AI programmed robot, called it Evie. You know where I'm going with this, if any of you guys know this bot. And decided to make the EV chatbot, a president of the United States. That's basically as dumb and as effective as the Democratic Party is. Do you know why? Because they want money. They don't care about people if people being happy is what's going to get them to not have money. So they're going to make us angry. They're going to make us so pissed that we kill each other. They're going to make us so angry that bodies end up in the graves so that way more money floats around through the system so that way they have a bigger chance to become rich. That's exactly what they want. Don't tell me otherwise. They've worked for 70 years to get this, and they are very close to having it. America is literally a foot in the door, a foot away from fascist Nazi Germany. Quite literally. And no, we won't have Nazis, but we'll have white supremacy, which is just as bad, and equally could be worse. Because let's face it, white supremacists versus Nazis within the modern era versus the 1940s, there is way higher capability of today's society throwing people into concentration camps that'll get them killed easier than there was 40 years, 60 years ago. The sad truth of the scenario is that shit will not get fixed if we rely on Democrats or Republicans. So to all of you voting for either party, I'm sorry, but knock it the fuck off and wake up to the reality of the world around you, which is basically every country on this planet is heating up. So within the conversation, the last video, episode 5, part 1, heating up, causing people to get angry because the temperatures of summer is rising in an incredibly high status amount. 15 degrees per year, as I've said in the last video. Fucking ridiculous stat, but it is here. We're gonna die in literally 30 years if this doesn't change now. And I mean it. Now, as these videos are being posted, things need to be happening, but they're not. Which is why my hypothesis is so strongly that we're all going to die. Me personally, I've said this a lot, but if I have to kill somebody to make a change for the better of humanity, then I'm sorry, FBI, you guys are a bunch of wet pussies who aren't doing your fucking job, so fuck every single one of you down to every single goddamn cell of your body. And I'm gonna do your job, and I'm gonna take out people who deserve it, and I will make sure the people deserve it. So people like Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, fucking Matt Gaetz, Ron DeSantis. Do you know why these people deserve it? Because they're killing people legally. They made laws and loopholes to kill people legally. Not these people specifically. The people before them, Republicans in general, with the same white supremacist ideologies that they've been sharing with one another. Keep in mind, not all Republicans are like this, and not all Democrats are like this. They keep sharing these white supremacist ideologies. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to try to force those white supremacist ideologies into our government because that's the way they were raised and believe. Their ideologies are led them to believe. The issue that you have here is, in America, freedom of speech, right? Well, you know what freedom of speech does in America? It allows people to become incredibly fucking ignorant and stupid. Literally so goddamn stupid, they can't tell the difference between a fly and a fucking horsefly. That's how stupid they are, despite horseflies being like 3 times larger than a common housefly. These people can't even tell the difference between a lighter from a fucking blowtorch. They can't tell the difference between a candle and an electric torch. They can't. Their brain perception of reality is so fucked up that they literally can't handle some of the most basic ideologies and functions of humanity. So why are we letting these people get into our politics? We're not. We're trying to stop them, but we're not stopping them hard enough at all. Because we're still failing to realize that it's up to the people and not the politicians. We need to stop voting. If anything, we need to start voting in us. We need to start changing laws, all of us collectively. Every single American civilian in the United States needs to work together to change laws coercively and cohesively against the Republican, fascist, democratic regime. That's what it is. A democratic, republic, fascist regime. That's all it is. This is not America. This is not the land of the free. This is the land of the slaves. This is the land of cash for the rich. This is the land of the elite. This country is no different than North Korea, and if anything, is starting to get worse as legal killings and lynchings might be the next possibility for humanity. Keep in mind, these are white supremacist, racist Republicans that we're talking about here, that are taking control, that are also getting help from also likewise white supremacist, racist American Democrats. In which I'll say this, to any Democrat who doesn't think Biden's racist, I have to tell you this right now. I think he is. I'm pretty sure he's as racist as Donald Trump. He's just hiding it better because he's an older white man going for the Democratic Party, so he's able to play his cards a little bit differently. But don't you notice how every goddamn move Biden makes is literally helping Trump in the process? If this was my government, if I was in control, Trump would be in prison for max life sentence for the thousands of lives he's caused to die and the thousands of kids he has caused to get raped, kidnapped, and moved to Jeffrey's Island. Probably not thousands, but definitely hundreds. And the Democrats can ignore this because of money. This is a severe situation that is literally almost only in America. We are the fascist superpower. The reason why China and Russia and North Korea are working together is because they realize that Americans are so fucked up mentally that even if they don't know why they're fighting, they're willing to kill. They're just willing to do it. Look at every single war we've had, including a lot of our Operation Desert Storm-based wars that have been going around since the 1980s to the early 2000s. Every time we stepped foot in Iraq, we did not know why we were there. We were being told that it was because it was, kids having bombs strapped to their chests and stuff like that. And we need to be worrying about saving Israel and Afghanistan and Iraq and Pakistan and Turkey and all of those countries nearby. When in reality, we gave the people that are killing us and the kids the guns. We gave the Mujahideen AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s, C4, and basically anything you could fucking imagine when it comes down to basic weaponry. Even bullet-resistant vests. I hate the word bulletproof, though, because they're not bulletproof, they're bullet-resistant. They're called bulletproof, so you would buy it thinking that you're invincible and impenetrable, but etc. Speaking of which, I already have a plan down for Kevlar bulletproof armor, and I do mean it's bulletproof. There's too many ricochet angles for the armor to actually get penetrated. That's kind of the point of the armor that I'm making. And again, I'm a fucking genius. I know what I'm doing. This pisses me off because I'm actually intelligent, right? But I can't use any of my intelligence because of America. If I was in Germany, I'd already be in college. I'd already be halfway through it. And I'd be doing free college, by the way. Free fucking college. Free college, free intelligence, because they want you to be smart, not stupid like America does. Do you know why America has a price on absolutely everything, including water? Well, because they're letting lead in the water, because lead gets rid of some of our brain cells and it decays parts of our brain. So guess what? We're becoming stupid while drinking water. And also guess what? Our educational system is not focused on educating. It's focused on giving people ideologies. If we had an educational system that is focused on making people smarter, then most of the people in the United States of America, and I do mean most, 90% at that point should be, all of us almost, would be believing in every form of science. Religion would become a concept that people are still going to go by, but they wouldn't be living it as if it was mattering so much that it needed to be forced into every form of politics ever. If you're a Christian and watching this video, and you're doing Oppo research, so you're watching this video to make sure that you know what the Democrats are talking about, I want you to know I'm not a Democrat. I really hate Democrats. Almost as much as I hate Republicans. But I don't hate the people of both parties unless they're contributing to the problem. So a lot of those Trump supporters, they're contributing to the problem. So I kind of hate them. Yeah, they're stupid. It's kind of not their fault that they're so stupid. It's kind of not their fault that they're so ignorant. But at the same time, they let themselves get to that point without even taking a step back to realize that they could be going down a negative route because, again, ignorance, believing they were right from the start. So let me back it up just a little bit. The failure of Democrats goes way back to like 60s and 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, the 2010s, and now. The Democrats have always failed us, and we keep relying on them? Why? Is America full of insane people? Because we keep repeating the actions we've already repeated over the last 60 years and have seen that the repetitive nature has never fucking worked. You know what hasn't happened yet to make a change? People storming the Capitol. Do you know what did happen? By the opposite party of who's supposed to do it? The Republicans. They stormed the fucking Capitol. And they were hurting people in the process. And they got away with it for the most part. So fucking Democrats, stop being pussies and actually grab your fucking pitchforks, your Glock 18s, and all your guns and shit, show up to the Capitol, and demand your shit to be changed, or people will start getting lynched. I hate to say that. I actually do hate to say that, because people are going to have to die to make a change. But that's the unfortunate nature. 94 billion human beings, not human beings, but lives in general, regardless if they're single-cell organisms or multi-celled, we're all going to die because of Republican and Democratic leaders. America is the #1 cause. It's top 5. I definitely know that for a fact. We're the top 5 in pollution. We're sending so much greenhouse energy and gas into the air in general that we basically have this big bubble around our country that's heating up our country. And it's not just our country either. The entire world is heating up 15 degrees by a year. 15 degrees a year. If it's been 110 this summer, it's going to be 120 next summer. It'll be 140 the summer after that. It'll be 150 the summer after that. So stop being fucking retards, for the love of God, and start working for something that's actually beneficial for humanity, or you're going to cause the extinction of every mammal on this planet. Are you going to be so selfish and ignorant that you're going to let everything on this planet die because you wanted money? If so, I will kill you. I'm not fucking kidding. I will kill you. Is it grim? Is this a grim way of looking at life? Yeah, but this is the sad reality that we're being forced into because we're about to be in an apocalyptic scenario because we are even having a water problem, for the love of fucking God. 2% of Earth's water is drinkable. What do you think most of our bodies is consistent of? Water. What do you think most of the lead is going into? Water. What do you think most of the lead is in? Our drinkable water. Oh shit, there is a major problem there too. The point of these videos is to show that America has literally so many problems with it that if you're thinking about moving here, it's not worth it. America, in fact, has so many problems that they're the lead contributor to most of the problems around the entire fucking planet. No wonder why almost every country hates our politics and dislikes our people. Because our people are fucking stupid and ignorant, while our government leaders are actually slightly intelligent, but highly fucking selfish. Incredibly selfish. So selfish that they're willing to sacrifice the entirety of the planet just to help them survive a tiny bit longer with a tiny bit more happiness that they're not going to be able to achieve. This is all I really got to say on the matter. As it is dire, things need to happen. So anybody who sees this, share this video as much as you can. This is a must kind of thing. Keep in mind, I'm not getting money from this, so this isn't to advertise me or whatever. This is quite literally because our planet's going to die in 30 years. Our fucking planet we walk and breathe and live on and sleep on is going to die because of us. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I taught you a couple of things if you didn't know a lot of this shit already. And if you're somebody coming here for opposition research, I'd suggest, instead of getting angry at my tone and voice, look at the words that I'm using and why I'm using all the words that I'm using, and also what I mean behind the context of the words that I'm using each, word in, or each sentence that the word is in. Sorry. Anyway, that's all I gotta say, so salutations to all. May you find peace in the domain. Hopefully there'll be one for us to find peace in 30 years, but we'll see. Good luck.